Hello everyone, welcome back to Taroko Railways. Today we are going to look at the Hornby R2059 LNER 462 wheel arrangement super detailed Mallard class A4 loco number 4468 in a super detailed box by Hornby. Now looking at this tender-driven locomotive, each side on the front of the Mallard features a very detailed nameplate and a small detailed whistle. The buffer beam is also great, nicely finished and nicely applied, all the extras, and it is not sprung buffers on this locomotive, and the contrast between the black and the LNER blue, the gator blue, is absolutely stunning along with the red and white lining. So looking at the brake part, nicely applied along with the hook and the numbering of the locomotive in front. And the top funnel of the locomotive also detailed nicely for the prototype. Now on the side of the loco again points to Hornby for the separate fitted handrails and for the special detailed colour and finish to them. Also great features on the cab. As you can see, there are some cab windows, and again the lettering and the numbering on the locomotive is done in the 3D style from Hornby. Great finishes featured on this super detailed locomotive. The crisp blue colour on the sides of the locomotive helps all the details on the locomotive to pop out. Now again, the roof of the locomotive also done well with all its special features and air intakes, and obviously the black roof of the cab. Now moving over to the tender, a great surprise, the tender wheels are also done in red, just like the locomotive. So thanks Hornby for doing that, so all the wheels can match. I guess I probably could have gotten away with making it a darker color, but you still see the red, so it does actually complement the loco, having all the wheels in the same color. So well done Hornby on that one. The front of the tender also have great finishes to it. It even features a cold shoe storage door. The name also greatly applied and featuring separate handrails on the front and rear of the tender. The lampine finishes and handrails on the back are also great added features on this locomotive. Now going into the history of the LNER Mallard locomotive, the LNER Class A4 is a class of streamlined 462 steam locomotive designed by Nigel GRESLEY for the London and North Eastern Railway in 1935. Their streamlined design gave them high speed capability as well as making them instantly recognizable, and of the class number 4468 Mallard holds the record as the world's fastest steam locomotive. "35 of the class were built to haul express passenger trains on the East Coast Main Line route from London's King's Cross via York to Newcastle and later via Newcastle to Edinburgh, Scotland. They remained in service on the East Coast Main Line until the early 1960s, when they were replaced by Deltic diesel locomotives, they themselves proving to be worthy successors to the A4s. Several A4s saw out their remaining days until 1966 in Scotland, particularly on the Aberdeen-Glasgow Express trains, for which they were used to improve the timing from 3.5 to 3 hours trips. And here we can see the Mallard at the National Railway Museum in York. LNER Class A4 NR number 4468, our loco that we are looking at today, is a 462 Pacific steam locomotive built in 1938 for operation on the LNER at Doncaster Works. Design of Nigel GRESLEY. Wind tunnel tested. On 3 July 1938, Mallard broke the world speed record for steam locomotives at 126 miles per hour. That means 203 kilometers per hour, which still stands today. While British Railways regular steam-hauled rail services were limited to a 90 miles per hour, 140 kilometers per hour line speed. Before the war, the A4s had to run significantly above 90 miles per hour, 140 kilometers per hour, just to keep schedule on trains such as Silver Jubilee and the Coronation. Mallard covered almost 1.5 million miles, 2.4 million kilometers, before it was retired in 1963. The locomotive is 70 feet long and weighs about 165 tons. Yes, that's right, 70 feet, almost 21 meters long, and 165 tons in weight, including the tender. It is painted LNER garter blue with red wheels and steel rims. Mallard is now part of the National Collection and preserved at the National Railway Museum in York. Now recapping, in 1936, Nigel GRESLEY ordered a new batch of 6 462 Pacific Class A4 engines to be built at Doncaster Works. The first batch comprised 4 locomotives which entered service in 1935 and had silver in their names as they were to haul non-stop the Silver Jubilee service between London and King's Cross and Newcastle. The 6 new A4s were named after a bird, influenced by GRESLEY's fondness of breeding wild birds, and incorporated some modifications to maximize the possibilities of the original streamlined design. So much like my railway layout, the name Taroko means Lurie, Neisner bird, and the Taroko bird, famous by Livingstone's findings. So the new streamlined design included a new state-of-the-art double coal chap chimney and blast pipe, allowing the smoke to be distributed more freely. The Mallard was released from Doncaster in March of 1938 to enter service. Mallard has had 7 tenders throughout its career. The original non-corridor tender number 5642 was later coupled to sister locomotive 60026 Miles Bever when it was withdrawn in 1965. Later it came into possession of the A4 Preservation Society, who had purchased this locomotive from the scrapyard to assist the restoration of the classmate number 4498 Sir Nigel GRESLEY. It was scrapped in 1973 as being surplus to requirements. At this time, it also donated parts to the restoration of the A3 class locomotive 4472, the Flying Scotsman, which at the time recently returned from America and was being restored at Derby workshops. Mallard was allocated to 3 sheets during its career: Doncaster, Grantham and King's Cross top sheet. Here we can see the Mallard with its number E22 during the locomotive exchange in 1948.